Shout out to the New York Times and their breaking news, y'all. I already knew it. I done already said it. The Supreme Court is busting through these cases with a sharp ass knife. You heard? Student loan forgiveness. Supreme Court rejects Biden's debt forgiveness plan. The proposed debt cancellation of more than 400 billion would have been one of the most expensive executive actions in U.S. history and affects tens of millions of borrowers. So what do you think people gonna do now? The next thing that is about to happen is it's going to be a crisis with student loans. What? Here's what to know about the student loan forgiveness decision. The Supreme Court's conservative supermajority struck down President Biden's proposal to cancel at least some student debt for tens of millions of borrowers, saying it overstepped the powers of the Education Department. In a 6-3 decision, Chief Justice J.G. Roberts Jr. wrote that a mass debt cancellation program of such significance required clear congressional authorization. Citing the same authority the Trump and Biden administration used to pause student loan payments during the pandemic, Mr. Biden promised in August, did you promise, Joe? To forgive $10,000 in debt for individuals earning less than $125 or $250 per household and $20,000 for those who receive Pell Grants for low-income families. Nearly 26 million borrowers have applied to have some of their student loan debt erased, with 16 million applicants approved. But no debts have been forgiven or additional applications accepted in light of the legal challenges. The decision, a day after the court struck a blow against affirmative action policies in college admissions, effectively ended what would have been one of the most expensive executive actions in U.S. history. White House officials said Biden would denounce the court rulings in remarks later today and would announce new actions to protect student loan borrowers. Joe, what's there left to do? Okay, he gonna come out and every time the Supreme Court make a decision, I guess he gonna come out and say something, child. Chief Justice Roberts wrote the 26-page opinion, and Justice Amy Coney Barrett wrote a concurring opinion. Justice Elena Kagan wrote the dissent, saying the court was exceeding its proper limited role in our nation's jurisprudence.
Drama, my favorite.
The amount of student debt held in America has skyrocketed over the last half century as the cost of higher education has continued to rise, growing substantially faster than the increase in most other household expenses. More than 45 million people collectively owe $1.6 trillion. That's how much you Negroes spent last year, okay? A sum roughly equal to the size of the economy of Brazil or Australia. Although the administration's plan was rejected by the court, there are still ways for borrowers to have student debt forgiven. Ooh, child, what is the plan? What's the plan? What y'all gonna do? What everybody gonna do? Child, Senator Tim Kaine of Virginia joined a chorus of Democrats attacking the court's student loan ruling. The Supreme Court's decision to strike down the targeted student loan forgiveness program hurts millions of Americans and our economy, he said in a statement. I remain committed to easing the burden of student loan debt, lowering the cost of higher education, and expanding access to post-secondary education. How about this, y'all, okay? How about this? Anybody that's been paying attention, the odds were that this was going to happen, right? Are people still taking out student loans? Are people still out here going to college and taking the extra money that they feed to us, knowing that you got to pay it back once you stop going to school? Are you going to school for anything that makes a difference, that's going to make sense so that you can pay off your student loan debt? Are people looking at those things, or is it just, I'm going to go do what I want? Because, you can't tell. You're not going to tell me. You're not going to tell me. And then turn around and then ask someone to help you. Like, you're not going to listen in advance, but then later on you want someone to help you. Are people going to school for the right reasons? Are they going to the schools that make sense for them to go to? Because while it's Harvard and a school in North Carolina, if I'm not mistaken, with this affirmative action stuff, still got to look into it. Don't go to those schools. What's wrong with going to community college? What's wrong with going to the school in your state? You've lived there for long enough that you get the in-state tuition rates. What's wrong with going to school when you living at home? What's wrong with going to school and you paying for it? What's wrong with going to school and and getting one loan. And then if you feel like you need to pay it off, go back. I don't know. There's ways to do this without incurring all this debt, without going and living at the school, because you need to get the school experience. You also got to look at the freaking degree that you get to see if there's a need for a position in order to be able to pay it back. Are people doing this? Where's that education at? Where's that information at? Is anyone looking at that instead of looking at the fact that you're waiting for Biden to give you 10 to 20? Biden ain't gonna, y'all should have known that that wasn't gonna happen. But the bottom line is that people need to be making plans because of this decision. They need to figure out what the hell it is that they plan on doing. I know I keep saying I got to go see if Sally Mae and the other places is hiring, because this is about to be a cluster. It's going to be a lot of people calling in. There's going to be a lot of people that's going to be called to say it's time for you to start paying, little Susie, little Suzette, all y'all. It's time to get this money together and pay these loans off. You done had a break for almost 4 years. It's been 3.5 years. Your options are now ended. Let's get it done. Now, I hear people out here talking about they ain't going to pay no student loans. They ain't paying nothing. They ain't paying nobody. They not going to be able to do it. Then that'll be white supremacy, discrimination, racism, because I'm talking about Negroes now. Because Biden said, and he didn't make it happen, so now that's racist, because black people have more student loan debt. Black people have more student loan debt because we out here trying to get the college experience and trying to have fun and live life, instead of recognizing and understanding the fact that if you got to finance the whole damn thing, then that means you really can't afford it. Is this really the best route for you to take?
Drama, my favorite.
Maybe you should go to community college instead and live at home, like I said earlier. But, nobody want to listen because y'all already know. You not gonna tell me. I'ma tell you. I'ma tell you. You not gonna tell me. I'ma tell you. I'ma tell you. You heard what I said? Because I'ma tell you. You're not gonna tell me. I'ma tell you. At the end of the day, it shows in every single situation. And what is that getting us at the end of the day? Nothing. Still behind, still last, and still trying to catch damn up. But we shall see, because I'll be watching, and y'all going to be watching too, to see how this is going to go when it's time. And I believe it's September for these student loan payments to get back into place. So if you see anything, let me know. Until then, that's it. That's all. If you made it this far, I do appreciate you. Please consider subscribing. I will see you all in the next one.